when I was working at the state hospital, it was often said that I was the only person with schizophrenia in the state who, when I had a breakdown, I left the psychiatric hospital and went home, whereas everybody else had to come the other way. I was giving a talk as the director of psychology at the state's biggest psychiatric hospital to a group of graduate students and said, well, you graduate students, let's see what you really know about psychiatric conditions. Would anybody here who's ever been delusional and picked up by the police and put away as insane, would you please stand up and identify yourself? Nobody stood up, but I said, well, I guess I'm the only one standing, aren't I? I'm very much aware of the fact that 50 years ago, the answer to somebody being seriously mentally ill was to put them away forever, essentially. Now 95 of those of us who were or would have been in those old state hospitals are out. Now, not all of us are doing as well as myself or some others. I mean, there are too many homeless in the streets, are in jail. There are 400,000 seriously mentally ill in jails, which we really need to do something about. But the big thing that I feel is it's important for me to interact with the professional communities, the psychiatrists, the psychologists, the research communities, the Veterans Administration, and advocacy groups such as NAMI and the Mental Health Association, et cetera, and be a living example of I can function even though I have this disorder. And there are an awful lot of people like me. Most of them will not be open about having had these psychotic breaks. Wounded healer? Oh, that's a traditional term. I may have started back as far as Aristotle, but there's some feeling that if the healer, the physician, the treatment person themselves have experienced a very difficult time with disorders or are experiencing it, that gives them some insight, some perspective, more than just the person who's trained scientifically to look at the patient as an object of scientific manipulation.